Tuesday, everyone. I'm Kelly Manzone. Thank you for joining me. For today's class, we're still addressing the theme of the month, the anterior and posterior performance lines, working into our slings. For today's class, we are going to need the two long sticks. If you don't own stick mobility, you could use PVC pipe, wooden dowels, whatever you have accessible to you. We also need access to a sidewall. For our warm-up, we're going to start with our feet and work from the ground up. My Wi-Fi at the condo has been going in and out, so you may see me occasionally making sure that we have maintained connection. To get started, we're going to take our two sticks in front at like 11 and 1 o'clock. Step forward, take a moment, those palms are right below the shoulder line, arms extended, and if you are uncomfortable having your arms extended, you could slide the hands down and have them about 90 degrees with the elbows bent. We're gonna start with working into the feet. Now the camera flips me, so this is my left leg, but I want to have you follow along, so I'm gonna say it's my right, so we mirror one another. Now we're gonna work into the toes, so you're gonna releve, and I'm pushing down into the sticks, maybe about 30%, just to create a little bit of stability. Spread out the toes, push upward, down into the ball of the foot as you raise the heel. Take a moment, switch over to the left side, and again, working into the feet. So if you're able to, please be barefoot or at least in a minimalist sneaker so you could feel that connection to the floor. Let's do two more on the left side, and then we're going to take it over to the right. Begin to circle outward. Now the tendency is to initiate the movement from the knee and the hip, but what I want you to focus on doing is initiate the movement from the foot-ankle complex, and then the knee just goes along for the ride. Let's do one more outward. Take a moment to center. Now you're going to go inward. So you'll feel the pressure go from the pinky toe all the way around to the big toe. Let's do two more on this side, and then we're going to switch over to our left side, going outward first. And I want you to be mindful if you're shifting your hips out to the side. Try to focus on your posture, and again, we're staying connected with the whole ball of the foot and all toes. And now go inward. You'll feel that pressure of pinky toe through the other toes to the big toe. Again, isolating and working the foot-ankle complex. Come to center, take a moment, shake out your legs. Working into some knee lift and extension. So I'm just gonna go a little bit on a diagonal here. Stepping forward, again, arms extended unless you need to modify. I'm going to now push down into my right foot, lift the left knee, extend, so toes are flexed upward towards the ceiling, re-bend the knee, and lower the foot down towards the floor. Drive up, knee in line with the hip, extend, push energy out through the heel, draw it back in, and lower it. Let's do one more. Drive up, exhale, reach, take it back in, and lower. Now, I say it every class, we're switching sides. I like to train and practice with diaphragmatic breathing. So if you'd like to follow along with diaphragmatic breathing, you're going to close your mouth, rest the tongue on the roof of your mouth, and breathe through your nose. We have one more on this side. Reach, re-bend, and lower. Now I'm going to face you once again. We're going to push down into our left foot. Take the sticks forward now. And again, the bottom of the stick is angled inward towards you. Top of the stick angled out. Drive up. We're going to lift that knee. Working some internal and external rotation of the hip. We're going to take our right foot. Midline of the foot, that arch is going to press into the stick on the left. Now, keeping the knee fairly still, we're going to come through center and then internally rotate. The outside of the midline of the foot now is pressing into the stick on your right. Come through center, apply some pressure, maybe about 60%, possibly 70%, hold, come through center, and transition. A little wobbly today. I've been doing a lot of outdoor running because the weather's been nice and mild here in Connecticut, and a lot of rowing. Hold, come back through center, and lower. Take a moment, shake your legs out. Now we're going to transition over to our left side. So you're pushing down through the right foot. Again, be mindful of the hips leaking out to the side. Drive up, pause here. Now we're going to push into the stick as we externally rotate, keeping the knee in alignment, and then internally rotate. Good. And you'll notice what side feels a little bit stronger or more stable. Push, keeping the knee fairly still, internally rotate. And again, watching your posture. We're going to be mindful of our movement throughout class, and I say it often, just kind of take some mental notes of where you feel like you need to address what's inhibiting your movement. Realign and shake it out. Just going to turn my timer on, so I'd like to track what I'm doing in class. Now, next exercise, we're going to go a little bit wider than hip width. Taking the sticks now to the inside arch of both feet. Extend your arms forward, and we're going to shift both arms over to the right. Focusing on a hip hinge rather than a squat, you're going to soften into the knees. As you hip hinge forward, your chin should clear over the bicep. Taking this left shoulder now, I'm gently going to dip that left shoulder down towards my left foot. Angle, look upward towards the ceiling. So we're getting some neck articulations, then over the left shoulder. Upward towards the ceiling, and then down on that diagonal. Pause here. Shift as we come up, so we realign through center. Arms now are going to go over to the left. Hip hinge forward, sending that chin forward. So it's almost like we're creating a triangle with the crown of the head. And then you're going to dip now that right shoulder downward towards the foot. Look over the shoulder as you're breathing through your nose, upward towards the ceiling. Again, down to the floor and upward towards the ceiling. Coming up, we're going to now take our sticks forward from the body. And as we repeat this exercise, we're going to create more of a forward reach on a diagonal. So the sticks are angled inward, tap the stick outward. I'm going to take this left hand and come across forward, and then my right arm is outward to the side. Taking a moment to stretch. Now again, we're addressing those anterior and posterior performance lines. So we do have to get into the lateral lines to open up our rib cage, free up the shoulders. Come up through center. Now reach that right arm forward on a diagonal, and then your left arm should be outward towards your side. Eyes down, take a moment, push into the sticks, and then when you're ready, you're going to go for those neck articulations, looking right and left, nice and slow. Perfect. Coming up through center. Single stick now. We're going to take our one stick to the ground. Other stick we're going to place behind the back. And we're going to get some feedback. So your T-spine should be pressing against the stick. And I want you to take your palms to the belly. So we're in our classic stick mobility horse stance, a little bit wider than hip width. Instead of the shoulders hiking up towards your ears, you want to take a moment to roll those shoulders down and back. So the chest is open, rib cage is closed, and instead of anterior pelvic tilt, take a moment and find that neutral pelvis. Slightly tuck under, palms now spread out on the belly. Now, we're going to drive down into the right foot, and we're going to pivot on the ball of the left foot, squeezing into that glute. While we're rotating here, I want you to take a moment, drop the chin to the chest, and then look upward towards the ceiling. Eyes leading the head. Drop the chin down towards the chest, like you dropped something on your shirt, and then upward towards the ceiling. Come through center, pushing off of that right side, we're going to realign. Driving down through the left foot, nice and solid, toes face forward, pivot, releve the ball of the right foot, have that nice rotation, chest is open. Again, your T-spine is pushing into the stick, eyes down, eyes upward towards the ceiling. Again, eyes down, upward towards the ceiling. Let's do one more here. Never working into pain. Come neutral. This time, rotate the palms up, and we're simply going to alternate. So we're getting that nice hip drive and full rotation this time. So I'm going to allow myself to look far beyond and cross over to the other side. Switch. Let's do 4 more. 1. Very nice. 2. 2 more. 3. 1 more. Push into the foot. Come center. Take a moment. Release. Shake out your shoulders. Now, working into our T-spine. Our stick is going to go to the base of our lower back with the palms facing upward. So palms should be facing forward. I'm going to take my stance a little bit wider than hip width. Hip hinging forward once again, so you're not hyperextending into the knees. Soft knees. Picture that triangle. Hip hinge forward. So there's the crown of the head. And now this right side is going to come across over to the left where I can comfortably. So I want you to find something that's comfortable. You shouldn't be fighting for this. We know we're just warming up the body. From here, doing those neck articulations, we're going to work a little bit into that anterior front line here. Through the shoulder girdle, into the chest, as you look down to the floor, and then upward towards the ceiling. Let's do 2 more. Downward towards the floor, upward towards the ceiling. 1 more. Excellent. Come through center. Pause here. Take a moment. Come out of the hip hinge. If you need to shake the legs out, please do. And then we're going to go over to the other side. So left side, over to the right. Hip hinging forward. Soft knees. I'll go on a diagonal here. Belly lifted. Now, taking the left side over to the right. Hold. You're going to look upward towards the ceiling as you breathe, and downward towards the floor. Now, there are a few variations of this drill, but for right now, we're not going to shift our body weight into favoring one leg. We're going to try to stay nice and centered, planted with our feet. Good. Let's do 1 more. Upward towards the ceiling, then downward towards the floor. Coming through center, push into the feet, and we gently come out of that hip hinge. Now, 1 more exercise as part of our warm-up. We're going to go into a bow and arrow variation on a diagonal. So I'm a little bit wider than hip width. This is my right side. We're going to take the stick back behind us on a diagonal from where our heel is. That left hand, palm is going to face down, so thumb down, palm forward, and that bottom right hand is going to find where the sticker is. Instead of shifting our body weight left and right, what I want you to do is grab the ground with your feet. We're going to send the hips forward, so as my hips are pressing forward, you're going to start to gauge those legs, squeeze into the glutes, and go into your bow and arrow here. Then looking upward towards the ceiling, hold for breath, slowly come out of it. 1 more. Grip the ground with the feet, squeeze the glutes, hips press forward, then you press out with the arms, but that top left arm, you're actually going to pack that shoulder and almost pull and leverage with that top arm as you're looking upward. and then slowly come out of it. Going to our left side. Stick is behind you on a diagonal. Same setup, right? So feet forward, hips forward. That right palm, thumb facing down. Sending the hips forward as you squeeze the glutes, press the arms out, then leverage with that top right arm. Pack that shoulder, engage that lat, looking upward, hold for a breath or two, and then we slowly come out of it. Good, let's do one more. Drive down into the stick, squeeze the glutes, press those hips forward, then drive out. Hold here, 4 counts, hold 1, 2, 3, on 4, slowly come out of the stretch. So if you would like any water right now, grab a sip. I'm just going to make sure that I still have my Wi-Fi connection, which I do. And we're going to get started with some marching in place. So as we work our anterior and posterior lines, performance lines, and our slings, that has a lot to do with our natural contralateral movement. I do love the feedback from these sticks. So we're going to take our sticks, drive them into the floor, step forward. So if I'm marching and I'm going to elevate my left leg, my right arm is going to come forward, and then we're going to switch. So I have my timer in front. We did this in the previous class, and we're going to practice our diaphragmatic breathing going for 30 seconds of marching. So I just want to kind of warm up the body here with our contralateral movement. So timer is going, 30 seconds on the clock, starting now. Eyes forward, proud chest. Now as I drive down into the floor with the sticks, I can create a little bit of tension, and as I drive that knee up, I could feel, again, that midline and those oblique slings. Good. So we have 10 seconds left. Breathe, push down into the sticks again, wake up those lats, and recover. Working into an RDL. So we're going to angle our sticks inward towards us, step forward. I'm going to stay here on a diagonal for a moment. I'm going to work that left leg. The right leg is going to elevate. So we're going to focus on keeping our hips nice and parallel. Driving down into the floor with the sticks, left foot stays down, right knee elevates. We're going to hip hinge forward, so find a focal point, staying nice and parallel. So the right foot is flexed, toes facing down. Grip the ground with those feet that we've warmed up. Inhale, exhale, slowly stay connected, drive up, elevate that knee. Take a moment, extend, rebend that knee, and then hip hinge forward once again. Now, that left knee just has a little bit of a soft bend to the knee, so you're not hyperextending. Pack those shoulders, push, exhale, reach forward through that heel, rebend. So we have 3 more. Find your focal point, hip hinge, so lengthen through the spine. Drive up, driving down through the sticks, extend, squeeze. Now, if you feel any discomfort in your hip flexor as you're extending your leg, you could always work a little bit lower. So there's a modification. Rebend, 1 more. Now, on this last one, pause here at the bottom. As you're driving down the sticks now, activate that right side, elevate that left arm. Hold 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4, relower the stick. Slowly drive up, bend the elbows, breathe, squeeze that left seat. Now push forward, extend, squeeze into that right thigh. 4 counts, 1, 2, 3. On 4, lower. Shake it out. I'm going to just turn on a diagonal here, and now we're working our right side. Angling the sticks inward, find the spot where you're comfortable and your focal point. Right foot flat, watch your alignment, elevate that left knee. Hip hinge forward, find your target, lengthen through the spine, Squeeze through the glute of that back left leg. Drive up as you push down into the sticks. Elevate your left knee. Push forward, hold. Good. Rebend. Find that focal point. Again, focus on your breath. Hip hinge forward. So we have, again, focusing length through the spine. So I want you to notice if you're rounding and you're concave, I want you to connect to the entire body as you're going through this set. Hinge forward, eyes down. Work through that right foot. Initiate that contact all through the posterior line as you drive that knee up. Press forward. We have 2 more, and then we go for that hold at the end. Lengthen. Again, square off. Push into the sticks. Focus on your breath. Hold. Work lower with the extension if needed. Now, take the next one. Pause here. Activate the left side. Elevate right arm. Hold 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4, lower the stick. Nice and slow. Drive up. Hold. Extend. 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4, gently release. Well done. Now, we're going to lower 1 stick to the ground. This variation is a little bit more advanced. We're going to go into a lateral lunge, similar to a dragon lunge, and we're going to leverage against the wall. I'm going to show you one facing forward and then one from the side. So I've got my stick pressing into the side wall low, and I'm going to walk myself over to the edge. Now, with these single leg drills, they are quite fatiguing. The more you're able to feel that connection, feeling rooted through the foot, again, up the back of the body. Now, the inside left hand is going to be overhand. I personally like to cup the opposite hand on top. And then you're driving tension into that side wall. That'll also create some stability. So the inside left leg is going to be the working leg. I'm going to elevate the outside right leg. Then it's going to cross in back on a diagonal as I lengthen the arms, drive up, come up, and then we go into the next rep. I'm going to come out a little bit further. So here we go. Pushing into that side wall, working the inside left leg first. Elevate the outside right foot, and then you're going to point. Send the leg back on a diagonal as you lengthen the arms down. I'm still pushing into that wall. Inhale, exhale, come up. Squeeze that inside glute. We're going to go for 4 more. Push into the wall. Find your focal point. So it's not about depth. This is my less dominant leg. So it's a little bit more challenging. And like I said, been doing a lot of training, so I feel the fatigue in my legs. And I just want you to focus on how you feel on this particular day and what your body will allow. You could always lower the back foot. So I'm going to show a modification to the floor if needed. So let's just do one more for good measure. I think I'm adding an extra rep, but that's okay. Reach, working that outside hip. Inhale, exhale, drive up. Great. So now we're going to work the other side. So I'm going to take a moment now. You'll see me side view. Now inside leg, so we've switched sides. And again, I'm leveraging low to the floor. Proud chest, outside knee lifts, and I'm going to send that leg back on a diagonal. This is my stronger side. And then slowly exhale, come up. Watch your hip line. Reach on that diagonal. Work for it, own it. Come up. Good. Let's go for 3 more. Remember, you can modify by going more into a curtsy lunge if needed. Notice if you're creating any unnecessary tension in your body. So your shoulders should be down away from the ear. You shouldn't have excessive rounding of the spine. I believe we have one more. Sometimes when I'm talking, I lose count. And drive up. Excellent. Now, we're going to take our second stick and work into the anterior, so the front of the body, while we're going into a reverse lunge. We did this in last week's class. So both sticks now are going to be pressed up against the bottom of the floor. I'm going to take a good step back. So I kind of have a towel here to save my furniture. As I step in, I'm going to push down into the sticks. Let's just kind of prime our chest for a moment first. So I want you to go into a staggered stance. Step forward with your left foot and then take your right leg back. Heel is going to touch the floor. From here, instead of there being an anterior tilt, take the tailbone under. Slowly start to glide the chest forward as you're pushing into the sticks. Eyes down on a diagonal so your chin isn't jetting far forward, and just hold. Maybe about 60%, maybe 70%. Hold, 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3, on 4, come back up to start. Now what we're going to do in this particular movement is I'm going to go into reverse lunge, taking my right leg back. Then I'm going to rotate, pushing into the wall. Drop that outside left arm down, and then, come up through center. So if you need to, you could tap if you're losing your balance, or you can elevate your knees. So you have a couple of options here. So let's work into our first rep. Our right leg, we're going for 5 on each side. Right leg is going to go back. So big step back. Now open through the chest. Take the inside right arm, angle it up, left arm down, pushing into that wall. Inhale, exhale as you're coming up out of that lunge. Drive up, elevate that right knee. Lunge back, rep 2, arms open. Again, activating that front line, pushing forward. Right arm elevates, left arm drops down, pause for a moment, start to come out of it, drive up into the sticks. We have 3 more. Step back, wide arm, proud chest, right arm up, left arm down, breathe in, reach, tap into your obliques, open up, proud chest, reach, angle that right arm up, left arm down, come up. Let's do 1 more. Step back, reach, push into that wall, find your focal point, drive up, and now we change sides. Take a moment, shake your arms out, grab water if you need it. So we're pushing forward into the sticks once you recover. Let's go slow on rep number 1 out of 5. Let's step back with our left leg. I like to have the leg nice and long. Proud chest, push into that wall. Now your left arm's going to elevate, drop, look over to that right side. Inhale, exhale, drive up. So less dominant leg is my forward leg now, and I can feel how I've got to really work to reclaim that stability. Stay connected. Reverse lunge, proud chest. Elevate that left arm, lift, rotate, look over the right, drive forward into the sticks, come up. Let's do 1 more here. Step back, left, reach left arm up, look over to your right, come up through center, pause, and release. Well done. We're going to take 1 stick down to the ground, working into a hollow body hold. This was in last week's class. Just want to make sure we've maintained connection. And we have. Fantastic. Good. Okay. Side wall. Hollow body hold. We're only holding for 5 counts. So I'm going to wiggle my way and I'm going to take my outside arm, pressing into the outside of the stick. Now, I'm going to take my inside left arm in line with the ear or in line with the chest. The legs are going to elevate. We roll. We have that solid hold. To set it up, while you're here, scoop. So you have that little bit of a tuck. Activation of the anterior. Lower back, press against the floor. Left arm up overhead. Now, lift the knees, roll, push into that wall. Hold 5 counts. Hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4. On 5, slowly roll through center and lower. So you may need to play with your alignment a little bit. I noticed that the stick was not in the right place for me personally. So it should be kind of mid-belly. Now, push into that side wall, activate, left arm up, pause. Scoop out your center, roll, so we're lifted off that shoulder, hold 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. On 5, come center and release. Before we go over to the other side, take a moment, little wiper, shift your knees in one direction, eyes in the opposite direction. So you could always go for a longer hold, depending on how you feel, but I don't want you to feel like you're fighting through the rep. With your hollow body hold with that rotation, you should maintain control and connection throughout. So if you feel like you start to disengage and it goes into your back, take a moment, stop, reset, or lower your count. Okay, so we're on the other side now. Get your position. Stick out to the side, right arm, activate, roll, hold, 5 count. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. On 5, center, gently release. We have one more 5 count hold. Find your position, scoop, arm, lift, push into that wall, roll, 5 count. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. On 5, come center, gently lower. Rebend those knees, a little windshield wiper. So knees to the left as you look over to the right, and same thing, up and over to the other side. Good. Now, we're going to go into a row variation with the quadruped position. Still anchoring against the wall. Now, I don't know if I'm kind of coming, I'll go this way. I might be coming out of the camera line here. I'm going to modify just slightly because my short stick is in the closet. But left side is going to have the stick, and then opposite left leg is going to extend. So for your setup, in your quadruped position, palms right below the shoulder line, knees below the hip line. Personal to you, you could do top of the foot down, or you could anchor with the balls of the feet. So you could plantar flex or dorsiflex, personal to you. So left side, I'm going to activate this left shoulder, pack that shoulder, engage the lat. As I'm going into the extension in my bird dog, I'm going to row with the left arm as the right leg is going back. So row, oh, I got to put it about here, and lower. So again, I should be using the short stick, but this will have to do, and lower. Inhale, exhale, pull with that left lat and arm as you're lengthening the right leg. Crown the head forward, Stay nice and parallel. Let's do 2 more. Push into that wall as you row and release. 1 more. Row, pull, hold 4 counts. Stay centered. Hold 1, 2, 3, on 4, gently release. Great. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to turn around here. And now the, nope, going to go this way. Yeah, okay. So now the inside left hand is the arm that's rowing, and then left leg is back. So take a moment, lift the belly, find your position, and as you push into the wall and row, elevate that left leg and lower. Pull, squeeze, perfect, and lower. I apologize if I have gotten my rights and lefts mixed up. Good. Pull, squeeze, stay nice and centered. Now again, activate. Let's do 2 more here. Drive into that wall. Breathe. Let's do 1 more, then we have that hold. Pause here. 4 counts, you're still. Length through the spine. Hold 1, 2, stay connected. 3, on 4, gently release. Well done. Now, we're going to go for a series of stretches to finish our workout. Starting from standing position, then we're going to finish on the ground. So our strength portion is over. And now we're going to go really wide. So take a second, heel, toe out. Toes are going to face forward. So I want you to think of kind of pulling the ground apart with your feet. Both sticks are going to now be angled inside arch of the foot, similar to what we did in our warm-up. Now, we're taking our arms up and over to the right side. We're going to have a significant bend into that left knee. So when you're bending into that knee, so going forward into the toes, pull your body weight back. That left shoulder dropping down once again towards the foot. Looking upward towards the ceiling, downward towards the floor. Again, upward towards the ceiling, downward towards the floor. Slowly come through center. Arms now go up and over to our left side. Significant bend into that right knee. So that front bottom arm comes across your midline. Now you're going to take again, dip that right shoulder down. Practice your diaphragmatic breathing and neck articulations as you're looking upward towards the ceiling and downward towards the floor. Good. 1 more. Excellent. Let's go up and over. Now, if you need to, I like to go a little bit wider. So if you'd like to go wider, you can. You don't have to. Hold here. Pull apart the floor with your feet. Dip that shoulder. 4 counts, we're still. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4, transition smoothly through center. Pull that body weight back. Pause here. Again, looking upward towards the ceiling. Instead of letting that outside bottom arm trail away from the body, keep it close to the body. 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4, slowly come to stand. Take both sticks forward. Hip hinge. While you're here, we're going to shift our body weight. So I want you to corkscrew the knuckles forward. Drop the chest so you get a little bit more into the lats. Bend that right knee. Lengthen that left leg. Pull your body weight back. Then glide and shift. Good. Stay with it. Let's do 1 more on each side. Shift over to the right. Breathing. Push into the feet, shift back over to the left. Good. Now, we come through center, soften into both knees. Slowly come up, protect our hips, heel, toe, in gently. One stick down to the ground. Going into our traditional bow and arrow, taking the stick to the outside of the right midline of the foot, maybe about 2 or 3 inches out, a little bit wider than hip width. So oftentimes you'll see people go into the bow and arrow pressing out with the arms first, but we want to lead with our hips first. So left hand, palm facing forward, bottom right hand finds the sticker. Grip the ground with the feet, sending the hips out to the window first, then secondary, pressing out with the arms, that top arm, a little bit of leverage, pack, squeeze the seat, so meaning engaging our glutes, angle, look upward towards the ceiling if you want to get a little bit more of your front line. While you're here, hold 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3, on 4, recenter, and come out of the position. Good. Going to the other side. Right hand, thumb down, palm forward, bottom hand towards the sticker. Hips first, arms second. Again, gripping the ground. Now I'm going to gently take that tailbone under, angle, look upward towards the ceiling to get a little bit into that front line. Watch that bottom shoulder. So it shouldn't be hiked up towards your chin or ear. It should be down away from the ear. Hold 4 counts. 1, 2, 3. On 4, realign. And then slowly come out of your position. Going back to bow and arrow on the other side. We're now going to cross over so that outside left foot crosses over the right. Stick is going to be further out from the body, but we're pushing down into the feet, engaging those inner thighs. Find your position and go into your bow and arrow. A little bit more of an advanced variation. Hold here 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, on 4. Slowly come out, up and over to the other side. So our outside right leg crosses over the left. Feel that connection with the feet first. Engage those inner thighs. Find your alignment and lead with the hips, and then press out with the upper body. Hold here. Tailbone again is under, and we're holding 4 counts. 1, 2, 3. On 4, come to stand. Good. We're going to work our way down to the floor, going into a prone position. Getting into our lower back, our hips, and stretching out a little bit of the oblique slings that we've worked throughout class. I'm going to go this way, so let me just kind of roll that stick out. So, we're on our belly, and you're going to take your arms out into a T shape. So your chest is resting on top of the stick. While you're in this position, when we start to move, we're going to crush the stick, meaning we're going to push both hands inward on the stick to create some stability, to ground our shoulders. I'm going to demonstrate first. So head is down. If you want to rest your head on a pillow, you can, but we are turning our head from side to side. So my inside right knee is going to bend. I'm going to elevate that knee, start to open the hip. The foot is going to come across, tap to the left as I look over to my right, and then come through center. So we're going to do a few of these alternating left and right. Okay, crush into the stick, bend your left knee. Elevate the left knee, open that hip, and work with your own mobility and flexibility. The foot's going to tap the ground behind you to your right, and then gently release. Elevate right knee. Start to rotate. Open that hip, hold, and slowly come out of it. right? Everyone is different. Don't force it. Don't work into pain. Good. Let's do 4 more. Elevate that knee. 1. Release. Now here we go. 2. On the last 2, we're going to go for a longer hold. I'm just going to slide myself forward. Okay, here we go. Hold here. 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4. Keep squeezing into the stick. Keep crushing the stick. Other side. Hold 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4. Slowly come through center. Take a moment. Roll your stick forward. Palms below the shoulder line. And press back. Now, this last exercise that we're wrapping up with, I had a couple of DMs, some requests to add in the straddle split. So it's not exactly anterior, posterior performance line focused, but the straddle split was requested. I figured I'd add it in to finish. Everybody, again, is different. So if you need to sit on a towel, if you're struggling to maintain the length of your legs, you could sit on a towel or a pillow. We're not going to do anything too crazy. We're just going to do 2 active holds. So stick is midline arch of the foot, one hand stacked over the other. Sitting nice and tall in the sit bones. Start to bend the elbows, draw it in. Now, take a moment. As your feet are flexed, I want you to drive down the heels into the floor. Deep breath in. On the exhale, point your toes. Let the bottom of the foot wrap around the stick, top of the foot, right, over the top. Hold. Now, if you can, your chest is going to glide a little bit further forward. We're going to be here for 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4, reflex upright. Release that right hand, right palm to the floor behind you. Still leverage and pull with that left hand. And look over the shoulder only to where you are comfortable. As we pass through center, that right hand crosses over the left, sitting nice and tall, left palm to the floor. Look behind. Then again, we cross, flex the feet, bend. Hinge forward, length through the spine, drop those shoulders. Again, never working into pain, so go what's comfortable with you. Deep breath in, point, hinge further forward if possible. Watching your posture, 4 counts, you're still, hold 1, 2, 3, on 4, upright, release. Take a moment, hands behind the knees, slide them in, palms to the floor, a little bit of a modified 90-90 as you come out of it, so you're not shocking your hips. So that was today's class. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next Tuesday. If you ever have any feedback, I'm always open to feedback. Please reach out to me on Instagram. I'm at KelsBells88, Kelly Manzone, or you could contact Stick Mobility directly. This class is later going to be uploaded to YouTube, and you can check out their YouTube channel for more tutorials and previous classes and upcoming classes. And also be sure to check out the Movement Made Better podcast on Spotify or Apple. Take care, and I'll see you next week.